Today, I want to share with you a story about the journey from dream to reality, from struggle to success, and from doubt to unshakable belief. It's a story about a young woman named Emma, who, like many of us, had big dreams but faced even bigger challenges. It's a story that I hope will resonate with you, inspire you, and remind you of the power of persistence. In our fast-paced world, success is often portrayed as a straight path, where the end goal is achieved quickly and easily. But the truth is far more complex. Success is not just about reaching the destination, it's about the journey, the struggles, the setbacks, the perseverance, and the growth that happens along the way. This is the story of Emma, a young entrepreneur whose journey from humble beginnings to success teaches us that the greatest victories are often unseen, hidden within the trials and tribulations that shape us. Let's start at the beginning. Emma grew up in a small town, a place where everyone knew each other, and life moved at a steady, predictable pace. It was the kind of town where dreams were often overshadowed by practicality, where people worked hard but rarely ventured beyond the boundaries of what was familiar. But even in this quiet town, Emma was different. From a young age, she was a dreamer, always looking for ways to express her creativity and make something beautiful out of the ordinary. As a child, Emma's curiosity was boundless. She spent hours reading, exploring, and experimenting with new ideas. Her parents would often find her in the kitchen, surrounded by jars of herbs and bottles of oils, mixing up concoctions that she claimed would heal, soothe, or beautify. Her mother used to joke that Emma was a little alchemist, always trying to turn simple ingredients into something magical. But what began as a childhood hobby slowly grew into a passion. By the time she was a teenager, Emma had developed a deep interest in natural skincare. She became increasingly aware of the chemicals and artificial ingredients used in many commercial products and was determined to find a healthier alternative. This wasn't just about vanity for Emma, it was about offering something better, something pure, to those around her. She started making her own skincare products, using ingredients from her mother's garden and the local health food store. Friends and family were the first to try her creations, and their positive feedback only fueled her passion. However, like many young dreamers, Emma's passion remained just that, a passion, something she did in her spare time, without seriously considering it as a career. After all, how could making soaps and lotions from her kitchen ever turn into something more? The practical side of Emma knew that she would need to find a real job after college, something that offered stability and a steady income. And so, after graduating from college, Emma found herself at a crossroads. The job market was tough, and like many of her peers, she struggled to find a position that aligned with her passions. She took on temporary jobs, working in retail and hospitality, but nothing seemed to fulfill her. The creative spark that had driven her for so long began to dim, overshadowed by the reality of paying bills and making ends meet. It was during this time of uncertainty that the idea of turning her passion into a business began to take shape. One summer evening, while wandering through the local farmer's market, Emma's eyes were drawn to a vendor selling handmade soaps. The display was simple. The soaps beautifully crafted and arranged in neat rows. As Emma picked up a bar of lavender soap and inhaled its soothing scent, a thought struck her. Why couldn't she do this? Why couldn't she turn her passion for natural skincare into something more? The idea seemed almost absurd at first, but the more she thought about it, the more it made sense. That night, Emma couldn't sleep. Her mind was racing with possibilities, ideas, and questions. Could she really start her own business? What would it take? How would she begin? She knew nothing about running a business, but she did know one thing: she loved making skincare products, and she believed in the power of natural ingredients. The more she thought about it, the more she realized that this was her chance to do something meaningful, something that could combine her passion with a purpose. With a renewed sense of purpose, Emma made the decision to take the leap. She knew it wouldn't be easy, but she was determined to give it her all. She spent the next few weeks researching everything she could about starting a small business. She read books, attended workshops, and scoured the internet for advice on everything from product development to marketing. The more she learned, the more excited she became, but she also realized just how much work lay ahead. The first step was to create a product that she could be proud of, a product that reflected her commitment to quality and her belief in the power of natural ingredients. Emma used the small savings she had from her part-time jobs and borrowed some money from her parents to buy the necessary supplies. Her parents, while supportive, were cautious. They had seen Emma's creative endeavors come and go over the years, and while they believed in her talent, they weren't sure if this was something she would stick with. But Emma was determined. She converted the kitchen into her own mini laboratory, spending hours each day experimenting with different recipes and techniques. The process was far from easy. There were countless failed batches soaps that were too soft, too hard, or didn't lather well. The kitchen was often a mess, with soap molds and essential oils scattered everywhere. But Emma didn't let the setbacks discourage her. She knew that every mistake brought her one step closer to perfecting her craft. And finally, after weeks of trial and error, she produced a batch of soap that she was proud of. The bars were smooth, fragrant, and made with all natural ingredients, exactly what she had envisioned. With her first successful batch in hand, Emma set up a small table at the local farmer's market. She designed simple, elegant packaging and even created a small sign with the name of her new venture, Pure Simple Soaps. The name reflected her philosophy, keeping things pure, simple, and natural. As she stood behind her table, watching people pass by, she felt a mix of excitement and nerves. Would anyone be interested in her products? Would they appreciate the care and effort she had put into them? At first, things were slow. People would stop, look at the soaps, and move on without buying anything. But Emma didn't let this deter her. She smiled, engaged with customers, and explained the benefits of her natural soaps. Slowly but surely, people began to take notice. They appreciated the quality of her products, and word started to spread. By the end of the day, Emma had made a few sales, not enough to cover her costs, but enough to give her a glimmer of hope. But hope alone doesn't pay the bills. As the weeks turned into months, Emma found herself facing the harsh realities of running a small business. Sales were inconsistent, and despite her best efforts, the business struggled to gain traction. The competition was fierce, with many other vendors offering similar products. Some had been in the business for years and had loyal customer bases, while Emma was just starting out. She knew she had to find a way to stand out, but she wasn't sure how. The financial pressures began to mount. The money she had borrowed from her parents was running out, and she wasn't making enough to cover her expenses. Friends and family, while supportive, started to voice their concerns. They suggested that maybe it was time to consider other options, a more stable job, a different business idea, or even going back to school. Emma appreciated their advice, but she couldn't shake the feeling that giving up would mean abandoning a part of herself. She had invested so much time, effort, and passion into her business that the thought of walking away was heartbreaking. But the doubt was hard to ignore. There were days when Emma questioned everything: her decisions, her abilities, and whether she was cut out for this. She felt like she was running on a treadmill, putting in all this effort but not getting anywhere. The bills continued to pile up, and the pressure to succeed grew more intense with each passing day. Emma began to wonder if she had made a mistake. Maybe she wasn't meant to be an entrepreneur after all. Maybe she had been foolish to think she could turn her passion into a viable business. As winter approached, the days grew shorter, and so did Emma's patience. The farmers' market slowed down as the weather turned cold, and fewer people ventured out to shop. Sales dropped even further, and Emma found herself struggling to stay motivated. The excitement that had fueled her in the beginning was fading, replaced by a sense of frustration and despair. One cold evening, after yet another disappointing day at the market, Emma sat in her small apartment, overwhelmed by a sense of failure. The dim light of her desk lamp cast long shadows across the room as she stared at the bills scattered on her table. She felt lost, her dreams seemingly slipping through her fingers. The weight of her struggles was almost too much to bear, and for the first time she seriously considered giving up. As she sat there, staring at the bills and invoices that had become all too familiar, Emma's mind wandered back to the days when she first started. She remembered the excitement, the hope, and the sense of purpose she felt when she created her first batch of soap. She remembered the joy of seeing her products on display at the farmer's market, the pride she felt when a customer complimented her work. But now, those memories seemed distant, overshadowed by the reality of her situation. Emma knew that something had to change. She couldn't keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. But what could she do? She had already put everything she had into this business: her time, her energy, her savings. She felt like she was stuck in a loop, repeating the same actions without getting any closer to her goal. It was in this moment of doubt that Emma had a realization. What if she wasn't failing? What if she was simply in the middle of her journey? A journey that required more time, more effort, and more persistence than she had anticipated. Emma realized that she had been so focused on the challenges that she had forgotten to see how far she had come. She had started with nothing but an idea and a passion, and now she had a product, a brand, and customers who believed in her. It wasn't the success she had envisioned, but it was progress nonetheless. Emma understood that success wasn't just about the end result, it was about the journey, the lessons learned, and the growth that came from overcoming challenges. She realized that every setback was an opportunity to learn, to improve, and to become stronger. She had been so caught up in the struggles that she had lost sight of her purpose, the reason she had started her business in the first place. She believed in the power of natural skincare, in the importance of offering something pure and simple to the world, and she wasn't ready to give up on that belief. With a renewed sense of determination, Emma decided to take a step back and reevaluate her approach. She knew that she couldn't keep pushing forward without making some changes. She needed to be smarter, more strategic, and more resilient. But where to begin? The first thing Emma did was to seek advice. She reached out to other small business owners, attended workshops, and started reading books on entrepreneurship. She realized that there was so much she didn't know, and she was determined to learn. She began to network more actively, building relationships with local businesses and community leaders. These connections provided her with valuable insights and opened up new opportunities. One of the most important lessons Emma learned during this time was the importance of branding and marketing. She realized that it wasn't enough to have a great product. She needed to find a way to connect with her customers on a deeper level. She began to think more critically about her target audience, her messaging, and how she could differentiate herself from the competition. Emma also made changes to her product line. She streamlined her offerings, focusing on a smaller selection of high-quality products that aligned with her brand's values. She experimented with new scents and ingredients, always keeping her customers' feedback in mind. She also revamped her packaging, opting for a more modern and professional look that reflected the quality of her products. But perhaps the most significant change Emma made was in how she shared her story. She realized that people weren't just buying her soaps, they were buying into her story, her values, and her commitment to quality. She started sharing more of her journey, the struggles she faced, and the passion that drove her. She engaged with her customers on a deeper level, listening to their feedback and making improvements based on their needs. This connection with her customers became one of the most powerful tools in her business. As Emma's approach evolved, so did her business. Sales started to pick up, and she began to build a loyal customer base. Local boutiques took notice and started carrying her products, and she even landed a contract with a small chain of natural food stores. The growth was slow, but it was steady. And for the first time, Emma felt like she was on the right path. Emma's journey was far from over, but she had reached a turning point. She had learned that success wasn't about avoiding failure. It was about learning from it, adapting, and continuing to move forward. She had discovered the importance of persistence, resilience, and the power of believing in herself and her vision. As Emma continued to climb the ladder of success, she faced new challenges at every turn. Each step forward brought new obstacles, but with each one, she grew stronger, more determined, and more capable. The road to success was still far from smooth, but Emma had learned to embrace the challenges as part of the journey. One of the biggest challenges Emma faced was scaling her business. As demand for her products grew, she needed to find a way to increase production without compromising on quality. This meant investing in new equipment, finding reliable suppliers, and hiring additional staff. It was a daunting task, but Emma was ready for it. She approached each new challenge with the same determination and resourcefulness that had gotten her this far. Emma also faced challenges in managing the business side of things. As her company grew, so did the complexity of running it. She had to learn how to manage finances, handle logistics, and navigate the legal aspects of running a business. It was a steep learning curve, but Emma was committed to mastering it. She sought out mentors, took courses, and worked closely with her accountant and lawyer to ensure that her business was on solid footing. Despite the challenges, Emma's business continued to grow. Her products gained a reputation for their quality, and customers appreciated the care and attention to detail that went into every bar of soap. As her brand gained recognition, she expanded her product line to include lotions, scrubs, and other natural skincare items. She also began to give back to the community, donating a portion of her profits to local charities and supporting initiatives that aligned with her values. The climb to success was a long and arduous one, but Emma never lost sight of her goals. She knew that true success wasn't about overnight fame or instant wealth. It was about building something meaningful, something that made a difference in the world, and that's exactly what she was doing. As the years went by, Emma's small kitchen operation grew into a full-fledged company, employing several people from her town and becoming a beloved brand in the community. She had achieved what she had set out to do, but the journey had been far more challenging and far more rewarding than she had ever imagined. One of the key lessons Emma learned on her journey was the power of persistence. In the early days of her business, she had faced countless setbacks, challenges, and moments of doubt. There were times when it would have been easier to give up, to walk away and try something else. But Emma knew that giving up was not an option. She was determined to see her dream through, no matter how difficult the journey became. Emma's persistence was not just about working hard, it was about maintaining a mindset of resilience. She understood that success was not a straight path, but a winding road filled with ups and downs. She learned to view setbacks not as failures, but as opportunities to learn and grow. Each time she encountered a challenge, she asked herself, "What can I learn from this? How can I improve?" This mindset allowed her to approach each obstacle with a sense of curiosity and determination, rather than fear or frustration. Emma's persistence was also about believing in herself and her vision. There were many times when others doubted her, when they told her that her business was too risky, that she should find something more stable. But Emma knew that she had something special, a passion for natural skincare, and a commitment to quality that set her apart. She believed in her products, in the value they brought to her customers, and in her ability to build a successful business. This belief fueled her persistence, even when the going got tough. Emma's story is a powerful reminder that persistence is not just about working hard, it's about staying true to your vision, learning from your challenges, and never giving up, no matter how difficult the journey becomes. It's about understanding that success is not a destination, but a journey, and that the road to success is often filled with twists, turns, and unexpected obstacles. But with persistence, resilience, and a strong belief in yourself, you can overcome anything that stands in your way. As Emma's business continued to grow, she began to reflect on her journey. She realized that the greatest victories were not the ones that were visible to others, but the ones that were unseen: the personal growth, the lessons learned, and the strength she had discovered within herself. The unseen victory in Emma's story wasn't just the thriving business she built, it was the person she had become along the way. She had started as a young woman with a dream, full of passion but unsure of how to achieve it. Along the way, she had faced countless challenges, moments of doubt, and times when giving up seemed like the only option. But through it all, she had grown stronger, more resilient, and more confident in her abilities. Emma realized that success wasn't just about reaching the destination, it was about the journey, the struggles, and the growth that came from overcoming challenges. She had learned that every setback was an opportunity to learn, every failure was a chance to grow, and every challenge was a stepping stone to her ultimate success. Emma's story is a reminder to all of us that the road to success is rarely easy, but it is always worth it. The challenges we face are not roadblocks, they are stepping stones that help us grow, learn, and ultimately achieve our goals. So, when you find yourself struggling, when the path ahead seems unclear, remember Emma's journey. Remember that every setback is an opportunity to learn, every failure is a chance to grow, and every challenge is a stepping stone to your own unseen victory. Ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the end of Emma's story, I hope you have been inspired by her journey from dream to reality, from struggle to success, and from doubt to unshakable belief. Emma's story is not just about building a successful business, it's about the power of persistence, the importance of resilience, and the strength that comes from believing in yourself. Emma's journey teaches us that success is not just about reaching the destination, it's about the journey, the struggles, the lessons learned, and the personal growth that comes from overcoming challenges. It's about staying true to your vision, learning from your failures, and never giving up, no matter how difficult the journey becomes. So, as you go forward in your own journey, remember Emma's story. Remember that the road to success is not always easy, but it is always worth it. Embrace the challenges, learn from the setbacks, and keep moving forward with persistence, resilience, and belief in yourself. Your unseen victory is just around the corner. Thank you